صباح الخير. عناوين اليوم: آخر تطورات خدمة ستارلينك من سبيس إكس، العملة الرقمية البيتكوين في ارتفاع، وبنك جي بي مورغان في أبو ظبي. الآن أيضا مامو تحصل على ترخيص في دبي. صباح الخير ويا أهلا وسهلا فيكم ببرنامجكم صباحكم مع سماشي. معكم أنا هالة، ومعنا بخلف الكواليس علي.
صباح الخير يا جماعة الخير.
كيفنا علي اليوم؟
ماشيين.
ليش؟
اه
جاي الويك اند يلا.
آه.
طيب، خلونا نبدأ أخبارنا لليوم ونحكي عن أول خبر معنا عن مشروع ستارلينك التابع لشركة سبيس إكس اللي عم بيحقق خطوات تقدم كبيرة جدا. المشروع عم بيطمح لتقديم الإنترنت لجميع أركان العالم عن طريق الأقمار الصناعية. قال إيلون ماسك يوم أمس إنه عدد المشتركين في خدمة ستارلينك ارتفع، تخيلوا، من 10,000 شخص في فبراير ليصل الآن إلى 69,000 شخص. وعم بيقول إيلون ماسك إنه الخدمة رح تكون متوفرة في جميع أقصاء الأرض ما عدا القطبين في أغسطس، وعم بيأمل الوصول إلى تقريبا 500,000 مستخدم بالسنة القادمة. متخيلين؟ من 10,000 مستخدم الآن هو 69,000 مستخدم، ولكن في السنة القادمة قد يصل إلى 500,000 شخص عم بيستخدموا هذه الخدمة. طب خلينا نحكي عن تفاصيل تقنية أكثر عن هذا الموضوع. ستارلينك عم بتقدم الإنترنت اللي هو القمر الصناعي باستخدام وارتفاع منخفض إلى درجة بأنه مراقبين نجوم ممكن إنه يشوفوها. حالياً عم بيتم تجربة خدمة الإنترنت في 12 دولة، ولكن أكيد كمان بيصير في مشاكل بهذا الموضوع أو تحديات. التحدي الأكبر هو السعر والكلفة. المشروع لا يزال بعيداً كل البعد عن الربحية حتى الآن. سبيس إكس أنفقت ما بين 5 إلى 10 مليار دولار لبدء تشغيل هذه الشبكة، وحتى تعمل الشبكة بالكامل ويصل الإنترنت إلى جميع الأماكن النائية فرح تصل تكلفة الاستثمار إلى 30 مليار دولار. وحتى جهاز مستقبل الإنترنت يباع بخسارة الآن، حيث عم بيكلف سبيس إكس تقريبا 1300 دولار لتصنيعه، وعم بيباع ب 499 دولار، يعني كله بالخسارة بالفترة هاي. عم بيقول إيلون ماسك إنه الهدف الأساسي الآن ليس الربحية طبعا بالنسبة له، بل هو تجنب الإفلاس. ولكن مثل نموذج الطابعة والحبر، تأمل سبيس إكس في الربحية على المدى البعيد جدا. وعم بيتوقع إيلون ماسك إنه دخل مشروع ستارلينك قد يصل إلى 30 مليار دولار، لأنه إيلون ماسك ما بيحكي بالمليونات، دائما بيحكي بالمليارات، أو ما يوازي حتى 10 أضعاف الدخل المحقق من قسم إطلاق المركبات الفضائية في سبيس إكس. تخيلوا أنتوا إنه إيلون ماسك عم بيحقق مشروع الآن إنه الإنترنت يصل إلى كل أنحاء العالم. خلينا ننتقل لتاني خبر معنا لليوم ونحكي عن العملة الرقمية البيتكوين. لفترة صارت العملات الرقمية كلها بالأحمر، وسوق العملات الرقمية كله بالأحمر فعلا، ولكن باليومين اللي مضوا ارتفعت فعلا سوق العملات الرقمية، سواء كان البيتكوين، الإثيريوم، أو حتى الدوج كوين. خلينا نحكي عن البيتكوين. اليوم ارتفعت البيتكوين 5.44% إلى تصل الآن إلى 36.4 ألف دولار تقريبا في نهاية التعاملات ليوم أمس الثلاثاء، لتضيف تقريبا 1874 دولار إلى مستوى إغلاقها السابق. وقفزت العملة المشفرة الأكبر والأشهر في العالم 31.1% من أدنى مستوى لها لهذا العام البالغ 27.7 ألف دولار، واللي هوت إليه في 4 يناير. وصعدت الإثيريوم أيضا، اللي هي ثاني أكبر عملة رقمية مثل ما ذكرنا، 6.53% إلى 2218 دولار، لتضيف 135 دولار على مستوى إغلاقها السابق. ودائما عم نشوف أيضا مع تطور الأحداث دعم العملات الرقمية تحديدا بالمؤسسات الرسمية والحكومية، عم نشوف فعلا مثل ما شفنا في العديد من الدول عم تستخدم، وأثبتت الآن أنه خلص عم بيستخدموا العملة البيتكوين كعملة رسمية في البلاد. فكل هذه الأخبار بتساعد لارتفاع العملات الرقمية وسوق العملات الرقمية. خلينا ننتقل لجي بي مورغان. ذكر بيان أنه جي بي مورغان أسس كيان قانوني جديد في مركز أبو ظبي المالي العالمي، والبنك حاضر في الإمارات منذ 10 أعوام من خلال مكتب تمثيل له، لكنه أسس الآن كيانا قانونيا جديدا تحت اسم جي بي مورغان للشرق الأوسط بترخيص من سلطة تنظيم الخدمات المالية لدى سوق أبو ظبي العالمي. وقال البنك الأمريكي أنه هذا رح يتيح له تقديم مجموعة من أكبر من منتجات وخدمات جي بي مورغان للعملاء في أبو ظبي. وأيضا في الحديث عن هذا الموضوع ودولة الإمارات، ولكن في الحديث عن الشركات الناشئة تحديدا في المنطقة العربية وتحديدا دولة الإمارات، استضفنا سابقا شركة مامو باي اللي هي الشركة للتكنولوجيا المالية. الآن حصلت شركة مامو للتكنولوجيا المالية واللي بتتخذ من الإمارات مقر لها على أيضا رخصة الابتكار للعمل من مركز دبي المالي العالمي. وتم منح الرخصة للشركة من قبل سلطة دبي للخدمات المالية لممارسة النشاط المنظم لتقديم الخدمات المالية، ولتسمح لهذه الرخصة باختبار منتجاتها خدماتها في السوق اللي عم بيشهد تطور نمو سريع جدا تحديدا في قطاع الفinTech، وذلك وفقا طبعا للشروط اللي بتحددها سلطة دبي للخدمات المالية. ومن المتوقع أيضا أنه يشهد مجال المدفوعات من شخص لآخر في منطقة الشرق الأوسط نمو من 22 مليار دولار في 2019 ليبلغ 115 مليار دولار، يعني حوالي 5 أضعاف مع حلول العام 2023. وهناك 1.7 مليون شخص في الإمارات وحدها لا يتعاملوا مع البنوك، وهم يمثلوا 32% من العمالة، ويعتبر هي النسبة يعني نسبة كبيرة جدا. أيضا قامت مامو بجمع 8 ملايين دولار في آخر جولة تمويلية لها، والتي تم الإعلان عنها الشهر الماضي بقيادة جلوبال فينتشرز مع عدد من المستثمرين الآخرين. ومثل ما عم نشوف قطاع الفinTech فعلا بنمو وتطور ضخم جدا. هذه كانت كل أخبارنا الصباحية لليوم. بعد الفاصل ضيفنا لليوم جمال محمد الرئيس التنفيذي للعمليات في فودكس للحديث عن آخر تمويل حصلوا عليه وقصة نجاح الشركة. خليكم معنا ولا تروحوا لبعيد. ورجعنا لكم من جديد ومعنا ضيفنا جمال محمد الرئيس التنفيذي للعمليات في فودكس. Welcome to the show. We'll do it in English for you.
Thank you very much for that.
Anytime. Tell us more as a start about Foodex for whoever doesn't know it. So give us like a little brief.
Yeah, of course. In a short glance, basically, Foodex is a cloud point of sale solution system, mostly for F&B businesses, for coffee shops, for restaurants, but also for retail shops like sweet shops and bakeries and butchers, etc. So the whole idea was to disrupt the industries a few years ago. People were using on-premise solutions, which are not integratable to any other third-party system, very heavy, and you have to pay server cost and the huge implementation. So we launched this cloud POS solution, of course, cloud-based, that allows for more flexibility, ease of doing business, and more importantly, it's a whole restaurant management solution that has all the tools to manage the business and not just a simple cash register. So we've been into this road for 5 years. Now we're growing massively. We just raised our last round of investment.
Congrats on that.
Thank you very much. And we had more than 150 people today. And we keep on growing and expanding.
That's amazing. But tell us more about behind the scene, because for us, like as customers, we just go to the restaurant, for instance. Literally, we order, get our food, pay, and leave. But tell us more, please, about behind the scenes of Foodex and how you solve, how efficient it is for restaurants.
Yeah, of course. The thing that you don't see when you go buy a burger or shawarma is that a restaurant is not just, you know, a kitchen and a few waiters serving you. I mean, now it's a whole business and it's a whole company management that the owners have to do to manage the restaurant, make sure it is profitable and make sure it's going to stay in the long term. So the cooking part is actually now becoming very minimal. You have to manage third-party apps for your orders, you have to manage your mobile app, your website, your accounting software, you have to manage your screens, if you have a drive-through, if you have kiosk, for example, you have to manage your online marketing, your reputation, your reviews,
social media, everything.
It's like insane, right? It's insane. So if you have like a marketing agency, you deal only with social media and you deal with media in general, and you're already overwhelmed. You know? Imagine for the restaurant owner, he has to deal with suppliers, hygiene, food safety, etc. It's super complicated, and he's using a million different systems. So for us as Foodex, as the core of this, because we register the transactions with a cash register initially, we have to take all this into consideration and integrate all these players to give the owner a single visibility on one dashboard. Basically, when he opens Foodex console, he needs to be able to see all these parameters into one glance, because he has no time to take care of that the whole day. So that's the problem we're solving for. And that's the most important thing to understand about our business, is that we work to solve business owner problems and daily problems and make sure he can focus on the cooking part, he can focus on the recipe, innovating, the taste, etc., which they don't have time to do today with all this complex ecosystem around them.
How was F&B before Foodex and this tool?
Well, you can still, by the way, operate a restaurant without having these tools, but again, the problem is today we're in a world where you have to calculate every single penny of your business, you have to calculate your food cost very accurately, you have to have proper track of your inventory, and you have to manage all these different third parties. So if you don't have a system like Foodex to manage your business, you'll probably end up having much higher cost than what you do. You will not be able to be online, receive online orders. You have an issue with it. You can see restaurants, sometimes you go and you see 26 tablets. How do you manage a restaurant dealing with all these tablets, these noises? You don't have proper accounting reconciliation, you don't have proper display screens, you're not connected online. We all agree that today it's very difficult to run a business like this. It's not about the food. Okay, if you are in a popular area and you have your traditional customer base, maybe, but these guys are going to go to other players if you are not playing that game of diversification, being online and dealing with the new trends. So it's very difficult to catch up.
100%, because like if the restaurant is not available on the food delivery apps or something, be like, why would I? You don't even remember it, honestly. It's part of marketing, I believe, when I see this restaurant available not only on social media and not only in the streets, it's available on the delivery apps, for instance, and things like that. But tell us more, how was the pandemic with you guys? Like, was it positive, negative?
Look, I mean, I think the pandemic was a bit of a challenge, of course, like everyone. But at the same time, it was a great opportunity for us to show the value proposition of our system. Actually, we grew as per our plan during the pandemic. We are not like basically delayed by the pandemic. Why? Because actually the pandemic showed business owners all these things that we've been trying to educate them about for years.
Exactly.
That they have to watch their costing, they have to watch their online channel, they have to watch their reputation, they have to take care of their customer base and think about ways how to engage the customers, how to be in touch with them more frequently. So that was a big opportunity, and that they gave us the possibility to educate on our system and to have a lot of acquisition around, and to make sure that more and more business owners use our system and demonstrate the capabilities versus existing systems, versus not having a system, for example, etc., etc. So it was a great opportunity, and it was a huge opportunity for us as well internally to train our people on ops and ground problematics, which is very important. See, if us as Foodex, we don't understand this daily life of the owner, we'll not be able to build solutions that are going to reply to the problems. So for that, the pandemic was great because it's highlighted a lot of issues. We were able to reflect, go to the ground more, see what are the new problematics, where we get stuck, what's the bottleneck in our systems, and make sure to adapt it for the needs of that pandemic in general, but even after, for the needs of the business owners in general. So overall, of course, difficult situation for everyone. A lot of business shut down, unfortunately, and a lot of people were affected. But let's say product-wise and in terms of long-term vision, it was a great opportunity to speed up our transformation and speed up the digital transformation of the market as a whole.
Was it a challenge to spread awareness about your tool and for the restaurant owners to understand how important it is and to use it?
Of course, it's always a challenge. The point is that I would say after we demo our system, 99% of business owners are super enthusiastic and super excited and are happy about it. Actually, if you see our conversion rates from a demonstration to purchase, it's far above the industry standards. It means that our product has a real value proposition, and it speaks to business owners. We speak their language, their ops language, what they see on the ground every day. The problem is on that education phase, you need to take the time to grab the owner's attention, to make him understand, because it's a restaurant management system. It's not a simple thing you can demonstrate in 30 seconds, which is very difficult. So we do that all education work, we do workshops, we do content-based workshops about certain of their problematic. For example, we have a workshop soon about menu engineering and food costing, which are problematic. I speak to them, so we try to hook them from that angle, so they understand that, oh, okay, Foodex is bringing that added value on that point of my business. We hook them up, we explain to them how we solve that problem, and then of course we run them through the other problematics. And this is how we're trying to do this education, to grab their attention, in order to be able to solve their problems, right? The most difficult part where you're sick or you have an issue is to go to the doctor. Once you go there, then you have your treatment, you follow it. But to get the motivation to go and not to say, no, just it's okay, it's going to go, no problem, and keep like this for years with the problem.
It will harm you more.
It will harm you more. That's the point. So the whole prevention part that we do is very critical.
What are the pain points for restaurant owners from your experience, like the biggest challenge for them?
And for me, the main pain point of restaurant owners is that initially they are not business managers, right? They are restaurant owners. They're usually foodies. They're like, okay, I have a great shawarma idea, a great burger idea, a great salad idea.
That's so true.
You don't start a restaurant to say, okay, I want to be a business owner. I want to be like a company manager. Let's do a restaurant. That never happens. It happens from the food angle. So they come with recipes in mind. They come with food in mind. They come with a certain setup in mind. But then, as I said, they realize that, wow, actually the food part is minimal. How do I handle food safety, hygiene, marketing, social media, digital channels, staff management is a big issue, you know?
Of course.
Like you come, you have a business idea or a restaurant, you end up like being manager of, I don't know, even for one branch, 6-7 people, right?
Yeah.
You have people for cleaning, you have people for cashier, waiters, etc. So how do you deal with that? How do you manage a team? How do you handle someone going sick leave, replacing someone, leaving to another company? These problematics, they are not known when you launch a restaurant and you end up facing them. You do costing, like a real cost control for food is probably the most difficult thing. If you do a construction company, you can calculate how much the raw materials and how much profit I will make. Cost is very difficult. When you slice a chicken breast, you know, you need to calculate exactly what's the percentage that's going to be wasted and included in your costing. And all these are not expected from business owners. So this is the challenge they face, is managing this multi-departments, being a real business owners is what they face. And this is why we call our tool restaurant management system. It's a tool that allows you to do all this somehow seamlessly, basically, even if you are not a hygiene specialist, you are not a finance specialist, or you are not a manager or HR specialist, you still can manage the whole sides of your business without having to be specialized in all this.
That's amazing. And I'm always fascinated about the behind the scene in restaurants, because I know it's not a matter of a meal that they give you. Even waiters, like being aware that they take care of this table, like those numbers of tables, or like, for instance, like all of that. It's a process that we as customers are not really aware of. And there comes like Foodex. But you guys are expanding now to Egypt, right? So
yeah, exactly. So Egypt is one of the places we're expanding to. So we have 4 offices now.
Nice.
We have, of course, Riyadh in Saudi, which is our main historical country, let's say. But we are now we have offices in Dubai, in Kuwait, and in Egypt, which is a very important market for us.
Yeah.
Because Egypt, obviously, it's a huge market, and it's still a bit late in terms of digital transformation, and we are trying to speed this up. We know the Egyptian market has a huge potential and a very fast adaptation to technology and to digital transformation. So we just want to give the market the tools to do it faster. I think people already know about digital transformation, about the fact that they need to be online, they need to manage their restaurant properly and in real time, but solutions that are helping them do that are not like multiple and are very few. So we are trying to do that, expand to Egypt. And again, how we expand in Foodex, we're quite humble. We don't come to a country and say, okay, we're going to Egypt and we are going to be rocking Egypt and having a lot of demand and making sure like we're going to be super big in the country. No, we're quite humble. We know that, especially in F&B, it's a community industry. We have this community aspect. We want to penetrate that community aspect, make us known among the community, among the main players there that are already established for years. We want to make sure we build our name and we demonstrate our product through the ecosystem in place. We're not going to go and say, okay, Foodex is in Egypt now, yalla, come to us. No, that's not the point. We deal with chefs, we deal with suppliers, we deal with restaurant association, coffee shop associations, etc., to understand what's the problematic. Maybe our products does not fit the market, you know. Try to be humble. It's not because we have a SaaS product and a cloud product that it will necessarily fit the Egyptian market.
Exactly.
It's not. So we do the modifications, we do the adaptations, we penetrate from an angle where we talk to the business owners and see what is their problem and fix it. Not the other way around, that we come with a solution, please take it and adapt your business to our solution. That's never the aspect we are trying to
Are you
adapt.
expecting something from the Egypt market that you won't see in other markets, for instance?
Yeah, but again, we are expecting huge growth because of this mentality. From what we see from the Egyptian mentality, they are very eager to adopt new technology, to adopt new solutions. And I think it's a bit different from what we've seen before, where you have to convince people. You know, you have to convince people to change. You have to convince people to work differently, maybe. Sometimes in operations, you have to convince them to change something, you know, in their operations to be able to operate. What we see from the Egyptian market, because we have already dozens of customers there, is that this education part does not need to be done now. And that they understand the value proposition of our system, and that's of course very appreciable, because we can really focus on how to improve the business immediately and how to support them in their daily, you know, challenges.
Yeah, that's very interesting, and especially Egypt. But like, you are operating, for instance, UAE, Saudi, Kuwait, and now Egypt, and they're totally different markets in terms of F&B. So how do you manage the different, even in cultures?
Yeah, for us that's critical. That's very key. we've seen a lot of startups, a lot of companies failing because they come to the Middle East, they set up whatever in Dubai, in Cairo, in Riyadh, and they think they can just go for...
I want to open there.
Exactly. So like Middle East is like a country, you know. Okay, I'll expand everywhere. Kuwait, even Oman, Jordan, Syria, whatever. They think GCC and the Middle East in general is just one country, and we're gonna succeed wherever we go. That's completely opposite to the approach that we have. We take each market individually. Of course, we have the global team helping with scalability, helping with the engine behind, with recruiting the teams, with the budget, with making the overall strategy, which product we're going to launch, how we want to go to the market, of course. But we bet a lot on specialization and localization. We go to Egypt, we recruit local people, we talk to people locally, we adopt their language, we make sure that we reply to their own problematic. And if we have to develop a specific product for the market, we do it. Our pricing, our product, our strategy, our team, the way our tone is very different in each market. For example, if we talk about the social media aspect, we have teams in each country. We don't have our content for Egypt being done in the UAE, for example.
I can't imagine.
You know, of course. So maybe for Egypt it's more, you know, maybe for Egypt it's more obvious because we know very well that the culture there is very strong and it's very important
the
to
food
fit
culture.
Of course, exactly. Look, food is a national treasure. There's patriotism behind, you know. There's a lot of patriotism behind. So if you go there pretending you're a global company and you're not going to adapt anything to the local market, of course it's going to be a difficulty for you. But even markets like UAE, where it's very international, very diversified, still you need to be deep within the community. You need to adapt to the needs of the market. You need to understand seasonality. See, in UAE things are changing very fast.
Oh my God.
See, it's very important to understand this and to adapt your stuff. We have a lot of requests, for example, for temporary events, temporary food trucks, and this kind of things. And normally a company like us, we say, no, we don't do this. We sell a software, so use it the whole year or don't use it. But that's not what we are doing. We are trying to adapt, change our pricing, change our business model, change the way we operate based on the market. And I think that's why FoodX is growing very fast. And that's what made our success so far.
That's nice. And you've done a lot of partnerships as well, like for instance with Grubtic. So can you tell us more like about those partnerships? How do you guys add for each other?
Yes, for us that's very critical. So again, for us as FoodX, we are an ecosystem. We are not as a standalone solution. Point of sale is one of the 120 elements that a business owner needs. And then 119 others, we need to partner with them. We need to be integrated technically with them, and we need to have a partnership where we go to the customer with one solution and one value proposition. Because me, if I go to a business owner, he never buys a point of sale solution. He asks me, okay, how does that integrate with I have a cloud kitchen, how does that integrate my multi-brands and my multi-locations to that? How I integrate my food delivery aggregators, how I do X, Y, Z. And they don't want also to talk to 200 people. They don't have time. So I should be able to either recommend my partners or to have one offering where I can propose to him that solution. I should be able to talk about it. And that's why we value these partnerships a lot, because we have the same ambition with guys like Grubtech or all other partners that we have. We have the same ambition, is to facilitate their lives. So if we understand that, then we understand that we need to be together. We need to be able to explain each other products. We need to be integrated to make sure the customer does not have to deal with multiple bottlenecks. And this is very critical. We do events together, we do webinars together, we do workshop together, we go to the customers together. Sometimes the customer does not even know who is from which company, you know. It's like, okay, you're FoodX, you're talking to me about this, but how are you related? We're not related, but we understand that some other customers use our integration with these guys, and it facilitated their life. So we propose it to you, you know. It happened to us even to propose competitors sometimes, or to propose solutions where we say, look, in this case, you don't need FoodX. You need X, Y, Z, have it integrated and do it. Because for us, there's no benefit if we just hard sell our solution and doesn't make an added value. There's no benefit. We're going to have an angry owner or someone that bought something that is not useful to him. We don't like this, we don't do this, and we value the fact that maybe this person, by giving him the right setup, even without FoodX, is going to grow tomorrow, maybe open different businesses, maybe we'll be able to teach us something, and we really value that, and the partnerships in general.
That's brilliant, because all you care about is how much you add value to your customer. That's more than anything else, more than I'm FoodX, I can do everything by myself, or things like that, which we have seen in the startup and even big companies, to be honest. So now I want to talk about the 20 million. So tell us, what are the plans for the 20 million investment?
Yeah, first, we're very grateful to get that investment from our partners, which is Sanabel Investments and SCV mostly, and we're still very happy to be an Endeavor company as well. So the idea is it's more than money. I mean, the money is something, the strategic partnership is something different.
Exactly.
We have very strong partners backing us that will help us expand in the region, that will help us increase awareness about our solution, and the money will help us scale, basically. Why? Because we are a SaaS company. Of course, we sell a software, but at the end of the day, we need to be very close to our customers. We need to engage with them. We need to talk to them. We need to visit them. So it's not just a software. It's a full kind of digital transformation phase that we operate. So we need that scale in each market to be able to be close, to visit. We need to be able to support our customers. We need to be able to engage with them. We need to be able to be on the ground, for example, in a few hours if customers need them. So this is what the money is going to be used for. First, for the technology aspect, to be able to always like improve our products, innovate, make sure we cope up with the latest basically requirements. To give you an example, we do a feature release every 2 weeks, and in that feature release we have basically hundreds of fixes. Maybe we have an average between 80 and 100 fixes, and we do it every 2 weeks, and we still don't cope with the requirements of our business owners, because the business is changing all the time. So if we want to be always on the edge, always like being able to reply to that, we need to be solid in terms of technology and in terms of operation as well. To be able to install fast, to support our customers, to be close, and to really be with them in their digital transformation, because they're going to ask us questions above FoodX about where do I open next, what are the trends of the market, how do I solve for more costing, how do I solve for this and that. And for that we need people and we need experts to reply to that. And this is mostly where we are going to invest that money, into helping these businesses by our scale and by our team to continue expanding and transforming their businesses.
That's amazing. And how do you see the food tech industry like in the future? I feel like it's expanding like crazy, honestly.
Definitely.
Lately.
No, it is crazy that the amount of solution, because it goes with the complexity of the market, right? The managing a F&B business becomes more and more complex. Of course, there are going to be more and more solution created. That's obvious. The problem is, again, we need to remember that even in the food tech play, there is the food part, which is the operational part, which is the restaurant. There are people cooking, there are people serving the food, there are people delivering the food. I mean, here in UAE, you see only this on the street. And you have to think about this, that there's actual food behind. And in the food tech space, we often focus, on the software or the solution we provide, but we don't focus on how it will solve problems on the ground. In FoodX, our strength is that we go to the restaurant, we stay with them, we see what are the issues, and we build to fix these issues. We don't build out of our office or having an idea about, okay, this will solve that problem or this would be great as an improvement. We don't do that. We solve real life problems. So in the food tech space, yes, there are a lot of new players, not only new innovations, but it's very important to reconcile these innovations with the ground operations and the ground level and business owner needs. That's the first thing. And the second thing is that, again, it's about the ecosystem. You come with an innovative solution. Okay, you solve my problem for, I don't know, you solve my problem for cloud kitchens. Okay, I can do multi-brands in my location. Great, but how do you integrate to my point of sale system? How do I make sure that when a driver comes, is going to have the proper order, etc.? How you integrate to my accounting? How do you integrate with my suppliers or whatever? So this is very important to understand that in the food tech space, we are selling software, we are selling technology solution, But if it's not integratable to the real world and to the operations of these businesses,
then
it's going to be useless.
True.
And I think we
It's
really
just
need
a
to understand that.
glamorous
Exactly.
product, you know.
Look how many apps, how many nice apps you are downloading, you know,
Yeah.
okay, this will help me with my clinic or with whatever.
Yeah.
But again, at the same time, if you have to log into 25 apps and use them as a standalone, you are eventually not going to be using them anymore, right? If it does not integrate into your daily life and make sure you can pay easily and you don't have to spend 15 minutes on each app to buy something, then you are not going to use it. It's the same for food tech. If we don't make sure it integrates to the business owner's ecosystem, then it's a guaranteed failure. Even though the product is excellent, even if it solves a problem, it's never going to be used, which is the final objective, right?
Exactly. Thank you so much. I guess today we understood like the complex of FMB and all the behind the scenes and the solutions that you guys bring. So thank you so much, and congrats again on the investment and on all your future plans.
Thanks a lot, Hannah. Thanks for having us.
كان معنا جمال محمد الرئيس التنفيذي للعمليات في فودكس. شكرا للمتابعة. أنا بشوفكم بكرة بنفس الموعد. نهاركم سعيد.